Hello everyone, welcome to the third MCQ video on analog electronics. Let us get started. Silicon solid state devices were introduced into the electronics industry early in dash for commercial purpose. 1940, 1950, 1960, 1970. And here you go. And the answer is 1960. So silicon solid state devices were introduced into the electronics industry early in the 1960s for commercial purpose. In an RC phase shift oscillator, the minimum number of RC networks to be connected in cascade is 1, 2, 3, 4. And here you go. And the answer is 3. In an RC phase shift oscillator, we are using it to invert the input to 180 degree. So the single RC network gives 60-degree phase shift. Hence we will require 3 RC networks which have to be connected in cascade. Okay. So there should be at least 3 sets to be connected in cascade. The range of energy band gap of semiconductors is 1 to 3 electron volt, 0 electron volt, 10 to 15 electron volt, 14 to 15 electron volt. And here you go. And the answer is 1 to 3 electron volt. Okay, normally less than 3 point. Class B amplifier is biased dash at midpoint of load line, just at cutoff, nearly twice cutoff, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is just at cutoff. So class B amplifier works only during the positive half cycle of the input signal, and class B amplifier operation has zero DC bias because zero signal collector current is zero, and hence the transistor bias at the cutoff. So each transistor only conducts when the input signal is greater than the base emitter voltage, that is VBE. The process used for adding impurity into a pure semiconductor material is called conducting, insulating, doping, none of the above. And here you go. Yes, you guessed it right. Doping is the process in which impurities are added to pure semiconductors to increase their conductivity. What will be the result if pentavalent impurity is added to pure germanium or silicon? N-type semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor, P-type semiconductor, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is N-type semiconductor. If an extremely small amount of impurity from pentavalent elements like antimony, phosphorus or arsenic are added to intrinsic silicon or germanium, then the 4 of the electron from the form the covalent bond with the silicon or germanium, and 1 electron will be free. Due to the free electron, it becomes an N-type semiconductor. What will happen if doping of an intrinsic semiconductor is made with a pentavalent impurity atom? Fermi level will not change, Fermi level fall, Fermi level rises, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is Fermi level rises. So when the donor density is increased, the Fermi level moves closer to the edge of the conduction band. Energy gap of conductor is 1 to 2 electron volt, 0 electron volt, 5 to 8 electron volt, 8 electron volt. And here you go. And the answer is 0 electron volt. The energy gap is the gap between the conduction band and the valence band, as you already know. And the energy gap of conductor is 0 electron volts, since it has overlapped the valence. It has overlapped valence and conduction band, as you can see from the diagram. Why is silicon preferred than germanium? Leakage current due to minority charge carrier is less in silicon. Current sensitivity of silicon with temperature is less. Silicon has higher tolerance to temperature. All the above. And here you go. The answer is all the above. The all the above statements make silicon preferable than germanium. A semiconductor has a negative temperature coefficient of resistance, positive temperature coefficient of resistance, constant temperature coefficient of resistance, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is negative temperature coefficient of resistance. Negative temperature coefficient of resistance means the resistance of the material decreases with increase in temperature. And due to this property, semiconductors behave like an insulator at very low temperature, but as the temperature increases, they start conducting. The most commonly used semiconductor is carbon, germanium, sulfur, silicon. And here you go. And the answer is silicon. The maximum working temperature of germanium is 75 degree, but that of silicon is 150 degree. And another reason for choosing silicon is its knee voltage. The knee voltage of silicon is 0.7 volt, whereas the knee voltage of germanium is 0.3 volt. The leakage current in a PN junction is in order of amperes, milliamperes, microamperes, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is microamperes. A PN junction diode is an bidirectional component, unidirectional component, linear component, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is unidirectional component. So PN junction diode can conduct only when it is forward biased and acts as a closed switch, and in reverse bias condition it will act as an open switch. Okay, so it is a unidirectional component. Semiconductor material is formed by covalent bonds, metallic bonds, electrovalent bonds, none of the above. And here you go. Yes, you guessed it right. Covalent bond. Semiconductor materials are formed by covalent bonds. It is formed by sharing of 4 electrons by 2 atoms. Each electron are sharing 4 other electrons from other atoms, as you can see from the diagram. The amount of time between the creation and disappearance of free electrons is called recombination, bound electrons, drift velocity, lifetime of carriers, and here you go. And the answer is lifetime of the carriers. The amount of time between the creation and disappearance of a free electron is called the lifetime of the carriers. Lifetime of the carriers varies from nanosecond to several microseconds depending on the how perfect the crystal is and many other factors. The resistance of PN junction when it is forward biased in the order of ohm, kilo ohm, mega ohm, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is ohm. When the PN junction is forward biased, the resistance would be in the order of ohms, because in forward biased condition the depletion layer is very small and breaks with small applied voltages. Electron mobility is defined as diffusion velocity per unit field, movement of electrons, drift velocity per unit field, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is drift velocity per unit field. So in solid state physics, the electron mobility characterizes how quickly an electron can move through a metal or semiconductor when pulled by an electric field. So the mobility mu is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field. Which of the following does not obey the Ohm's law? Resistor, semiconductor, bilateral device, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is semiconductors. Semiconductors are non-linear devices, so they do not obey Ohm's law. Okay. Semiconductor diode is a processing device, non-linear device, linear device, bilateral device, and here you go. The answer is non-linear device. So the cara of a semiconductor diode is shown, and as you can see from the diagram itself, it's a non-linear cara. So it is a non-linear device and it will not obey the Ohm's law. Depending upon the switching recovery time and on-state drop, the power diodes are classified as general purpose, fast recovery, Schottky, general purpose, fast recovery, and Schottky, none of the above. And here you go. The answer is general purpose, fast recovery, and Schottky are the classification of power diodes depending on the switching recovery time and on state drop. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe.